day one. Well, most of it is over for most of us, right? Day one, not so bad, right? I told you what would happen. You'd get hungry around typically the times that you eat. So for many of you, that's actually right now. But listen, it gets easier from here. Tomorrow, expect pretty much the same thing. You will get that hunger feeling, and it's really appetite, around the times that you eat. But fight through. If you can make it through these first couple days, you're going to make it. But here's my advice. And listen, it does come with a lot of experience. First of all, you set intentions for your fast. Areas that you need breakthrough for you or your family. This is a very important step. And you write these intentions down. And me, I pray about them. You can meditate about them, whatever your belief is. However, my point is, you have to make it intentional. You have to absolutely be intentional about what you expect out of this fast. Now, that means physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And it may even be a breakthrough that you're looking for in some type, meaning you're wanting God to move in your life in a big way. I like times of fast to expect God to move in the areas where you can't, right? Where things are so big, so much, so hard for you that you bring it to the Lord during a fast. And this is the time to do it. Again, some of you believe different beliefs. I think we probably have just about every belief amongst us here, and that's fine and good. But regardless, I said this before, do you realize every religious group on the planet disagrees on everything? Everything. Even except one thing, fasting. I was going to say, even what to pray about. But the fact is that they do. They even disagree on prayer. But the one thing is fasting that they actually all agree upon. Hard to believe. So we can all agree that we should absolutely trust in something bigger during a fast. So my message was this morning. A friend of mine, a good friend who may actually be watching, he called me and said, Dan, I listened to this message on Jehoshaphat. Remember, you told me about this when I was fasting, and he went on, he says, you should hear the message. So it re-inspired me to bring this message, and I just watched it actually this morning. But you have to understand, this is from 2nd Chronicles, first chapter of 20. What was happening is 3 massive armies were coming up against Israel. So I'm just going to read you a couple portions of us. And all of us can get something out of us, despite what you believe. I really, truly believe that. Jehoshaphat was terrified by the news and begged the Lord for guidance. And he ordered everyone in. This is a good advice when you have something, or you need a big breakthrough, which obviously they did. He prayed, O Lord God of our ancestors, you alone are the God in heaven, and you are the ruler of the kingdoms of earth. And you are powerful and mighty, and no one can stand against you. O Lord, drive those who are coming against us away from us. Then he goes on to say, he said, listen, all of you people of Judah. So this is after they come together, they pray, and all of Judah and Israel fasted, right? So now they're standing out here, and someone says, okay, he said, listen, all of you people of Judah and Jerusalem. Listen, King Jehoshaphat. This is what the Lord says. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged by this mighty army, for the battle is not yours, but God's. Tomorrow, march out against them. You will find them coming up through the ascent of Ziz at the end of the valley that opens in the wilderness of Jerul. But you will not even need to fight. Take your positions in victory. But what you have to understand, be afraid, do not be discouraged by this mighty army. That videos together, I talked to you about Rock Kazachamat. So do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, be strong and courageous is the Rock Kazachamat's message, meaning God has already gone before you and taken the battle. And that's exactly what he's saying. Don't be afraid. You're not even going to have to fight, but take the battle. It's already been taken for you. Just walk into the promise. My point is this. You set intentions for this fast, and you claim those as promises, and you allow God to fight the battle for you. Rock, it's R-A-K, Kazakh, C-H-A-C-K, Amats, A-M-A-T-S, Rock Kazakh Amats. And Rock Kazakh Amats, again, the English translation is be strong and courageous, but really the Hebrew translation means so much more. And it really does mean God has gone before you and fought the fight for you. So that's exactly what we can expect during fasting. You have to understand, before they did that, what did they do? They fasted, right? So they went before God, they fasted, and then they prayed. So that's my advice to you. Right now you're fasting, but you pray with intention. You pray with expectation of God moving ahead of you, taking the promise that you're expecting him to do for you, right? So these big things, maybe it's for one of your family members, maybe it is for your health, who knows? Maybe it's for a job, whatever it is, write it down. Pray over it every day and expect God to move just like he did for Israel and through Jehoshaphat. He will fight the fight for you. So yes, we will absolutely expect absolute amazing healing in our bodies when we fast. Remember the 7 benefits, right? So day 1, our body is going through that autophagy, especially if you've listened to me and you're going in fat adapted. The beautiful part about this whole program is that we're not waiting to the typical day 4 to get the results of autophagy and the drive up of stem cells that have an amazing healing capacity in our body. Believe it or not, even today, that is happening in most of you. I'm going to remind you to take your blood glucose and ketones in the morning, and take your, just with the Keto Mojo, and take it later in the day and see if your glucose is trending down and the ketones are trending up. Later, I'll remind you how to find out when you're in max autophagy, meaning that your body's getting rid of all the bad cells, crushing them, and upregulating the stem cells, which will start to happen around day 3 for most of you. But know this, those of you who prepared, as I said, you're already getting that today. So we can share our numbers. As a matter of fact, I encourage you all right now to share how your first day went. Just a few words. How did your first day went? Because it's encouraging. So please write a half hour, especially to honor those who came on. But write how your first day went. Encourage others. Matter of fact, some of you may even want to write some of your intentions, things that you're praying for and meditating on, things that you expect God to move. Rock Kazakh Amats, remember? All right, some housekeeping. The bind is, someone asked, how do you take the fasting trio? And this is the fasting trio. It's bind, Fastonic, and CytoDetox. These, some of you, these things will be absolute miracles for you. Why? Because Fastonic does that. And these absorb the toxins that can be released. Remember, when you're going into autophagy, you're actually losing a lot of different toxins, especially when you start breaking down fat cells that hold the toxins. And those can redistribute, especially people who are really toxic. And that can be why you feel so horrible. And that could also be why your ketones aren't rising, your glucose not dropping. And that was a few videos ago, so go back and watch that. But the bind, typically it's taken 4 before bed. However, many of you that are getting symptoms during the fast will benefit from 2 a couple times more during the day. So even up to 6 to 8 of these can be beneficial. If you get some loose stools, you might want to back off. But remember this too, this is a question I get during the fast a lot. I only had 1 bowel movement, day 2. That's very normal. Typically get bowel movements typically day 4, day 5. Typically they're dark in color, and it literally is from the autophagy. Literally, your body starts moving those dead cells through, and you can have an odd-looking bowel movement, just so you know. So it's not normal to go to the bathroom every day. So don't think you're constipated. Absolutely not, because you're not eating fiber. If you're doing a partial fast or fasting mimicking diet, you most likely will have very small bowel movements and most likely just go once a day. The CytoDetox, typically it's taken 2 times a day, it says on the label. But when you're fasting, my recommendation is take it 3 times a day with about 7 to 9 hours apart. So you can take it first thing in the morning and before bed and sometime during the afternoon. But typically it's marked on it here with milliliters. So for most of you, just start at 0.5 milliliters. That's a half a dropper full 3 times a day. If you seem to be doing fine with that, you can go to a full dropper full, which is 1 milliliter. And the Fastonic, Just 2 of these a day. You let them dissolve in water until they're done bubbling, kind of like an Alka-Seltzer, and then you drink it right down. Many of you will benefit from 4 a day. I like to do 4 a day, especially if you're getting symptoms. I would recommend 4 a day. So the Fast Tonic, what it does, it's molecular hydrogen, which has a really dramatic effect on down-regulating inflammation. It's something called hydroxy-free radicals that drive inflammation. And by the way, this actually increases autophagy as well. So if you want to get more out of your autophagy, Fast Tonic can do that. So these 3 we call the fasting trio, and they're on my website. You can ask or call, and they'll hook you up with them. But that's the how to take them. Many of you asked how to do it, so there you go. But I think the most important thing is writing these intentions, expecting God to move, Rakazakamatz, and really putting down the big things that you're trusting for. Maybe it's even an idea that you need. I get so many breakthroughs during my fast. So write them down. Please share with us what your intentions are. Please share with us how your first day went, and try to encourage others. And any questions on this, and myself or someone will help you get that answered. So, all right, I'll see you tomorrow, day 2. Day 2, listen, just get through those hunger times. My advice is this: stay busy. Stay very busy, especially when those times that you typically eat. All right, go to a movie after work if you or just stay busy. Watch movies, do anything. Stay busy, it makes it easier. Okay, all right, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sure.
Oh yeah, make sure you share the video. Thanks, Don. Share the videos, very important, because hey, we're spreading a message here. Absolutely share the video.